Welcome to Giants Latest. The NFL draft is officially complete, so today we are going to focus on walking through the rest of the New York Giants draft picks. I have to say, guys, Joe Shane did a nice job. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow, my actual feelings on the draft as a whole. But some of the guys that were picked on day 2 and 3, I love, and I cannot wait to talk about them. So we're going to get into more in depth this week on the players specifically. But today, let's just go through the players, where they were drafted, and my initial feelings on them. So I want to start with, of course, round 3, pick 65, defensive tackle from Toledo, Darius Alexander. For those of you guys who saw my mock video, he was in here. I love this pick. And one of the biggest concerns that I had with the Giants trading up for Dart was that giving away that 99th pick was going to take away the opportunity for them to get some really good value players. And the fact that they were still able to get Darius Alexander at 65 is huge for this Giants team. He is a good run defender. He's going to be someone who's going to be able to step in and give Dexter Lawrence a hand. He also has some edge rushing capability. He's really versatile. So I'm super thrilled with this guy. He is a dog. He's got that beast mode, tough mentality. And that's one thing that's really common within these draft picks as we talk through them. And, we can talk about this when we talk more. I think we've talked enough about Abdul Carter, but now that he's a Giant, we're never going to stop talking about him. So between Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart, you get that same mentality from them. And, one of the things that kind of bothered me, I was like a little annoyed with last week, is that everyone's saying, oh, Jackson Dart is so competitive, blah, 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 blah. Okay, guys, they play in the NFL. Like, if they're not competitive, they shouldn't be playing football, number one. Number two, Daniel Jones was also very competitive. Did not make him a star quarterback. So I like that these guys are competitive. I think the biggest thing that I've seen more from Dart is, I know everyone is very thrilled that he has a personality and he seems a little bit more open to talking to the media and showing who he is and things like that. Obviously, he's not been burned by the New York media yet, so give it time before he starts reining it in. I'm just kidding. He definitely has a different personality from Jones, and I don't expect to see that from Dart. I expect him to keep being who he is. He does seem very tough, competitive, dog capability, mentality, and that is, I think, a common theme with all of these draft picks. And I would absolutely say that about Darius Alexander, and that's one of the things that he said in his initial press conference with the Giants. What he said, in his selfie video welcoming him to New York and things like that, is that he is just tough and he is going to go out there and he is going to beat the crap out of people. And I love that. That's a mentality that I want on this football team. That was the mentality between Michael Strahan and Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks when we won Super Bowls. That was the mentality. Malik Neighbors is a dog. That is what I want from these guys. So soon we're going to be barking at MetLife instead of booing. God, I hope. I can only hope. We got to talk about Cameron Scatterbo, because he's a guy that I was like, he's going to be gone by 105. There's no chance that he's there, especially with the Giants giving up 99. And oh my God, you guys, I am so excited about this pick. You want to talk about a dog? I saw a quote from his mom. I don't know if you guys saw this. A quote from his mom after he was drafted, that when he was a kid, he took his brother's helmet, put it on, and would run into telephone poles. This man is psychotic, and I mean that in a positive. I think he is going to be the perfect complement to Tyrone Tracy. I think he is going to be a tough-ass running back, someone we know who can break tackles, someone who doesn't go down easily. He's got really good hands. We're going to talk more about this when we really get into Scatterbo. But, oh my God, I am so excited about him. I still cannot believe that he was on the board at 105, that the Giants were able to get him. He is so excited to be a Giant. I don't know about you guys. I mean, the draft day videos, I'm still seeing them all over my feed. Every single one, tears streaming down my face. And Cameron was the same way. I'm not going to cry, but the way that he put his head down was crying. You could tell he's so excited for the opportunity. It's the one thing I really, really love about the draft, is these guys are getting to see their dreams come to life. And, for someone like Cameron, who had an incredible last year, the fact that he was there at 105, amazing value pick for the Giants. I cannot wait to see the two-headed monster back at running back. And you know when was the last time that happened with Thunder and Lightning? And guess what? That's also when we won Super Bowls. And the best part about this is we still have Devin Singletary, who's in the last year of his contract, who the Giants are not going to have to re-sign next year because they've got Thunder and Lightning at running back. And you've got two running backs who are on their rookie deals. This is the time when the Giants need to take advantage. And I'm not going to do anything crazy, and I'm not going to say that they're going to be a contender or anything like that. I really feel like next year, 2026, is going to be the year where we are going to see a tough-ass, competitive New York Giants team. I think we still have some time to get there, but I think the way this roster is being built, I have confidence that that's where we're headed. So I love the Scattaboo pick, and I think a lot of you guys do too, based on some of our mocks and the DMs and the fans that I've talked to last week. But I know that the offensive line, I know everyone was like me. We were all worried. When's the offensive line coming? We got to build up this O-line. Speaking of, Joe Schoen announced that they are not picking up Evan Neal's fifth-year option. Surprise, surprise to literally no one. But I love the Marcus Bowe pick at 154. This is another guy, too, that I didn't think was going to be there. And I really have to say, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, is that Joe Schoen did a really nice job of having patience, staying put, and focusing on the value and the best player available. And I will hand it to him. He did a really amazing job with this, and I was very impressed. Because Marcus Bowe is expected to go a lot earlier. I believe he had a second-round grade on him, which is insane that the Giants got him at round 5. Just incredible. And I know there were some talks that he potentially fell from other teams because of medical issues. Joe Schoen said in his press conference that they didn't have any issues with his medicals and everything looked good and they are not worried about it. So from your lips to God's ears, my friend, because we cannot handle any more injuries on this football team. But there are a couple things that I really like about Marcus. Number one is he's flexible. He has played guard and tackle. And Dable actually said that they think they're going to line him up at tackle first, which is interesting. So they're going to start there. Evan Neal replacement, potentially. But he's got the guard tackle flexibility, which I think is fantastic. He also... There's talks that he either has played center before or based on his traits and capabilities and what he did in college, he has the potential to play center as well. And I love this because the backup centers that we have for JMS are guys like Austin Slotman and Greg Van Roten. And Greg Van Roten is supposed to be the starting right guard this year. So, I like the idea of having someone that maybe we could build up to be a really good center if, John Michael Schmitz doesn't take that step forward. And this year I think really has to be the year for him because he was still inconsistent last year. And I know that, he's young, even though he was one of the older players drafted at the offensive line position. He has a lot of center of experience. He really has to take it to the next level, and I hope that this year is this year for him. The last thing I want to say with Marcus Bowe before we move on to round 7 is that he played at Purdue with Tyrone Tracy Jr. So we are getting a reunion here between these two players who obviously have a lot of history together. They're very excited to be reunited, and I am excited that, they're going to have that kind of connection, and I think it's going to be great for both of them. So, like I said, excited. We got an offensive lineman, a versatile offensive lineman, great value pick. Last up, let's talk about what they did in round 7. At pick 219, the Giants picked Thomas Fidoni II. He's Italian. He's got to be Italian with that name, right? But he actually... Fun fact about him, coming out of college or high school, was graded higher than Brock Bowers, which is insane. So that'll tell you enough about his game. He unfortunately suffered through multiple ACL tears. So I think that's part of the reason why he ended up being a later round pick. But he has a lot of really good college experience. We're going to talk more about this. He's obviously more of a developmental tight end. But one thing that we know from Dable is that he loves tight ends. And I hope that we're going to see more of the 2 tight end set and some more versatility with those play calls this year. But on top of that, and also this was a common theme with the draft outside of the fact that, they wanted these dogs and tough mentality and whatever, they also really focused on traits. So yes, Fidoni was dealing with some injuries in the past and was a 7th round pick, but he has the traits needed to be a successful tight end in the NFL. So now can we see this coaching staff get him to that level? Time will tell, but I think he was a good addition. Let's see what he could do. The more depth, the better, obviously, as we talk about a lot with this team. Lastly, the final pick in the draft, round 7, pick 246, the Giants picked Oklahoma State cornerback Corey Black. And something that I think, I talked about this a little bit, that I would have liked to see them pick a corner in the later rounds, because you can never have enough corners. There's question marks around Tay Banks. Obviously, they didn't get Travis Hunter, who that would have alleviated some of the corner concerns potentially. I think we're in a good spot with corner, but obviously the more the merrier. So I like Corey Black. We're going to get more into him next week. He came in for a top 30 visit. The Giants obviously like what they saw out of him. He's a smart kid, and it seems like he's going to be a bit of a versatile corner, and he's going to have the time to develop because he's not going to have to be a starter right away. So overall, I think the Giants did a really nice job of getting positional value, but also players of need at the right spot. I don't think that they forced any pick. I would say maybe a little bit the Jackson Dart, like he probably was going to be there at 34. I don't know how true or false the rumors were that Sean McVay loved him and the Rams really were going to try and get him at 26. I don't know if we'll ever know the validity and the truth of that. But what I do know is that the Giants obviously have conviction on him. They felt like they had to get him at 25, and it allows them to have that 5th-year option, which is so important, knowing that he's likely going to sit for a full year. So overall, did a really nice job. Obviously, we can't really grade this draft until 3 years from now when we have actually seen them play in the NFL, learn the offense and defense, and hopefully, become consistent good football players on this team. Let me know what you guys think about the draft in the comments, and hit that subscribe button because there's more Giants latest coming your way.